Welcome to the Azure AI Service Explained. That is a comprehensive demo series. In this series, we will dive deep into the world of Azure AI, providing you with a detailed hands-on demonstration of its powerful capabilities. Which means I will not show you any, I will not be explaining any theoretical part. Completely, it will be a hands-on demonstration of the Azure's powerful capabilities. Okay, so whether you are a developer, a data scientist, or technology enthusiast, or even if you are planning to start your career in AI, our goal is to equip you with the knowledge and skill to leverage Azure AI services effectively in your project. So each episode we'll be seeing every services, Azure AI services, and I will deep dive into like what is the process, a step by step complete creation of that particular, utilizing that particular services for you. So I'll be uploading all these videos in my Gomes Tech Talks channel, so please go and subscribe it if you haven't subscribed now. Okay, so this is I'm a Microsoft Learn expert. Okay, so if you want to join my learning room, you can select here learning room. So you can find my name here, and once if you click here, you can see what are the learning rooms which you have. Okay, so once if you join, the benefit is what you can see what are all the upcoming videos and knowledge sharing sessions and everything related to Azure AI, Business Central, etc. So this is my learning room name. So you can just note it down, and you can submit a form. I'll be giving the form in the description, so you can just use that. Okay, to join that, or else you can simply click here where it will take you to submit a form. Okay, so you have to submit a form to join the learning room. Don't forget to do that, where we all are here to help you to learn Microsoft technologies and to improve yourself and to reach your goal in a better way. Okay, so if you have any queries, please ask me that. Okay, so let us go back to the today's topic. So today we are planning to I'm going to show you the machine learning lab. Okay, so I hope like you all know what is a machine learning, which is used to which includes supervised and unsupervised learning. So everyone are in machine learning world, like everyone, like we are doing magic with the data. Okay, so here you will be understanding the foundational knowledge of how to create a machine learning, automated machine learning with Azure. Okay, so for that you have to first sign in to the Microsoft portal.azure.com. So this is what the portal.azure.com, you have to sign in, and once you have signed in, if you are signing in for the very first time, then you can just create your ID. You have $200. Microsoft is providing $200 of free Azure credit. So once you have logged in and you have subscribed it, then you can see this particular portal. So initially this particular thing will be empty. Okay, if you are trying it for the first time. So in Azure you have to create a resource for everything. That is, there will be a resource, everything is resource in Azure. Okay, so we'll be completely concentrating on AI services, AI resources. So here you can see this is a resource. So the thing is, first one, you have to create a resource here. So how you can create a resource? You have to click create a resource. Just click here plus to create a resource. So on the left side you can see all the resources which are available in Azure. So of course we are planning to create a machine learning. So we are going to create a machine learning here. Okay, we are going to explore automated machine learning in Azure. So here you can go and type machine learning. Okay, this is one way of doing that, and press enter. It will take you to the services. Okay, this is one way, or else you can also check it in the left side. Okay, you can see AI and machine learning is here. Just you can scroll and check for where is your machine learning resource. Okay, so anything like you can click here, see all services. So you can see machine learning either here, or else you can go and search it in the place where you can do that. So the better way, I can go with a machine learning Okay, Azure Machine Learning. You can click that Azure Machine Learning. So the very first thing is what you have to create a workspace. Okay, workspace is where you will be creating and managing all the models. Okay, all the models, assets, and everything related to your machine learning project. So now you are supposed to create a machine learning workspace. Okay, so for that you have to click here create. Okay, so you have to click here create in your machine learning. Just click create, so you have a new workspace. Okay, just click new workspace. So it will take you to creating a new workspace. So either you can, I have already created a resource group. So resource group is where you will be collecting, you'll be holding all the resources which you are which you are doing it, which you are using it in your project. So either if you have one, you can create it. Okay, or else you can create a new here. So Azure ML RG. I'm just typing Azure ML RG for Azure Machine Learning. I'm just creating for Azure Machine Learning. Then you can give a name for your workspace. So workspace details, you can mention like AutoML Azure demo. So I'm just creating AutoML Azure demo. If that is available, then it will be showing that. So it is creating you the storage account. So all these things. Okay, region. I've selected East US region, US2 region by default. Okay. Then what is a keyword? Application insights, country region. So you can select the country region here. Okay. Sorry, container registry. I'm sorry. So this is a container registry here. If you have one. Okay, none will be the default one. Okay, when you're deploying it for the first time, you can just go ahead with the none, or else you can click and create a new thing. So just click create. So what happens, it will review all your details, and if all your details are fine, it's a perfect, then it will be creating the data, it will be creating your resource here. So just click create. On that you can see the initializing deployment. So you will be getting this particular notification, and then it will be showing submitting the deployment. And once it's all done, like you can see that your Azure resource, that is Azure workspace, is ready. Okay, so you can see the deployment is in progress, and you can see that your key vault is ready. This is to make your Azure secure. Okay, so log analytics workspace, this all things will be created by default whenever you are planning to create a workspace. Okay, so once it is fine, once it is deployed, you can see the deployment is in here. It is showing deployment is in progress, but once it is done, you can see that it's fine. So it is creating some default resource and types for you. Okay, so one is a log analytics workspace, key vault, storage account, application insights, Azure machine learning workspace. Okay, and also you can see the status, whether it is fine, whether it is okay, whether it is accepted. And you can also see the operational details if you want to see that. And here it is created like under your Azure group, Azure ML RG. And this is what the complete details. Once your deployment progress is fine, well and good, then it will be created finally. Okay, so here it is showing your deployment is complete. So now once it is showing like your deployment is complete, you can go to your Azure Machine Learning Studio. So automated machine learning will enable you to try multiple algorithms and parameters to train your model and identify the best model for your data. Okay, so we'll be using some historical bicycle rental details to train the model. So first I'll be covering the a lab exercise which is given in AI-900, and then we will be discussing something more. We can customize that as well. Okay, we can customize the another new model as well. So let us go ahead with the bicycle rentals. Okay, so we'll be using a historical bicycle rental detail to train a model which predicts the number of bicycle rentals that should be expected on a given day based on a seasonal and meteorological features. So for that you have to go to ml.azure.com. Okay, so you can just go to the ml.azure.com. Then you can just wait a minute, I'm just seeing here, or else you can see, go to the resource. Let it load. Meanwhile, I'm just okay. Here you have launch studio, so just click launch studio. That is one way. You can directly click here launch studio to open this particular workspace under the Azure ML RG, so it will be launched. Okay, or else you can directly launch your ml.azure.com. Either way is fine. You can select the workspace there, or else you can even go ahead with this. Okay, so let us first understand this Azure ML Studio. So on the left side, you can see there are various options like home, model, catalog, notebook. So you have various sections here. So this is authoring, okay, and this is assets. Assets holds the thing which are required. For example, data, components. Pipelines, environments, models, endpoints, all these things are there. All these things will be there. And authoring will be like you are going to write something, right? So what are the things which we can do? Like we can either use a notebook to create a machine learning model, or as automated ML. Like we can. So today we'll be discussing about automated ML, designer, prompt flow, tracing, like how we can use this in a better way. That is what this. So first thing you have to check is what whether your resource group which we have created, right? Azure ML demo, auto ML Azure demo. So this one you have to check. Probably it will be correct, but anyhow, this is good to see if you have multiple resources. Okay, so once it is done, you can see that okay, these are all the things which you have, you can create it. This is your Azure machine learning demo. Okay, so machine learning screen, like the home screen, where once if you launch machine learning, you can see this. So where we are supposed to go is what we can just click the authoring page. In the authoring page, you can see that you have AutoML, right? So automated ML. So you have that. So we have to click that automated ML. Okay. Then once if you click that automated ML, then you can see that new automated ML job. Okay. So you can just click on this new automated ML job. So once if you click on this new automated ML job, then it will take you to the basic settings. Okay, like what is the job name you have to give. So these are all the basic jobs. So it is showing ivory ball, some name it is showing. So if you want to go ahead with some other name, you can just give. Okay, auto. What is the thing which we have to see is what bicycle rental details. Okay. Okay, I'm just selecting this bicycle rental, and this is the job name. You have to give the job name. You can see like how you have to assign the job name. Okay, bicycle rental, and then once it is done, you can just give some new experiment name. Okay, bicycle. Okay, I'm just giving the same name. If you want to give the description, you can give. Okay, auto ML for prediction or something. You can give the proper description if you want, or else you can just go ahead with that. You can just leave the tags empty because this is easily to this is the tags which you can give it for your auto ML jobs. Okay, so just click next. You can leave that empty. Then the thing is like we have to select the task type. What is the task type? Because as I told, we have to go with the rental details. Rental details in the sense what it will be like, what is the bike rent? It will be in a numerical format. Yes, so if you want to go with the numerical format, then you have to go with the regression testing. For example, whether this bike will be available for us or not, like yes or no. If it is a labeled with a string format, then you have to go with the classification. If it is in a number format, you have to go with the regression. Okay, so I'm just going with the regression. So you can select the data set. Okay, okay, so here you can just select the data. So you can just click create. You can select the data set name here. Okay, you can do the name as bike rental, bicycle rental. Okay, and you can give the description like bicycle. Okay, and type, what type of data you're going to bring in, like either table data or tabular data. So so you can see the two things. Okay, so this is from a different API, from Azure ML v2 API, and this is Azure ML v1 API. I'm just going with the tabular. So once if you click the tabular, you have to click next. Okay, so it will evaluate and it will show you the data source. So you can see that you can bring in the data from any of these data sources. One is from Azure storage, from local files, from SQL database, from web files, or from Azure Open Database. So I'm just going to go with the from web files. Okay, so you can see this is from the web files. You have to select from web files. So just click on this from web files. Okay, so once if you click, then you have to go with the next. You have to now give the web URL from where you are planning to give https colon double slash ake dot ms slash bike rentals. Okay, I'm just doing this, and here skip the data validation. If you want to skip the data validation, then you can simply select S. As of now, I'm not going to skip the validation. Okay, let it do the validation and click next. Okay, it will take few minutes to validate it. Okay, and once it is validated, then you have to go ahead with the data. So it has it has brought the data from that particular website. Okay, so here you can see the rentals. This is the one which we have to look in. Okay, so the rentals retail. So based on this, we are going to predict it. Okay, so this is in a number format. So what we can do is what it should be a regression. Okay, so you can make it as file format is delimited, and delimited is a comma. So if you just type the thing, no, like you can see here, like for example, https colon double slash aka dot ms slash bike hyphen rentals. So once if you click on this, you can see this is a comma separated value. Okay, so this is what we are trying to fetch it here. So it's a comma separated value. You can just leave it your encoding as such, and the column header you can just make it as only first file has headers. Okay, because it has to bring in the first file as the header. So I'm just having first file as a headers, and skip rows. If you want to skip any specific rows, like from the first file or from the all file, so you can skip the rows. But as of now, I'm not going to skip any rows, so I'm just going to click none. And then data set contains multi-line data. I'm not going to select it because my data is not having any multi-line data. And these are all the data set. Like while we are creating any thing, these are all the steps which we have to perform while creating a data set. So you have to select the type, data source, web URL. So what is the URL you have to give if you have selected web URL? If you have selected from the local file, then you can import the data. Then what are the settings, then schema, then finally you have to review and update. Okay, so the next one is you can just click on the next to proceed. Okay, so now we have we have to select the schema. Okay, so you can just include, if you need the path, you can just select this, but path is what where it has we have got the data. Okay, I don't want this path. Other than that, you can see this is schema is like what is the column, what is the data type, do you have any example data, so do you want to do any date format. Okay, if you have date, then you can select the date format, like how it should be. Okay, and you can see that automatically Azure is interpreting the type of data. So this is the data types which it has. So if you have anything to change, you can just simply go and change it here. If you don't have any such, then you can just click next. Okay, so this is like a schema. It is showing you all the schema here. Just create. So what happens is what your once if you click create, the data set will be created. Okay, and you can continue and submit the automatic, like here your data is available here. Okay, now your data is available, so this is your data. Now we have to set the task. So we are doing, as of now I'm just telling you what we did. The first thing, so here you can see this is the training method. We chose like what is the training method we want, and then we chose like what are the basic settings, and then like getting the data and everything. And now we are supposed to do the task type and data. Okay, so previously we have created the workspace for the machine learning, and then we are now here. Okay, so this is the task, and once if you click regression, so everything is fine. Okay, data set we have created. Okay, now we are supposed to do the task setting. Just go to the next. So that will be a task setting. What is that? What is this? So you have to tell what is a targeted column. Okay, so what is a targeted column? It's a rental. Okay, that is a target column, which is like a label column, so we can also tell it like a label column. So here you can see the data which we have just imported. So this is your data, like regression. We have selected regression, and this is our data bicycle renter data, and this is the targeted column. We have to select the targeted column and other thing. So you can select what is the targeted column. Actually rentals is our targeted column because that is the label data, right? Then if you want to go with the additional configuration, then you can choose view additional configuration settings. If you want to view featureization setting, then you can also go ahead with that. So let me just go with the additional configuration setting. So here you can see the primary metrics. What is the primary metrics? The primary metrics will be normalized root mean square error. Okay, so because regression works on various metrics, so it will be evaluated based on various configuration. So these are the thing, like Spearman correlation, or R2 score, a normalized mean absolute error, or a normalized root mean square error. So what you exactly want, you can select that. As it has its own default value, you can just go ahead with that, or else if you want to select a different one, you can select it. Okay, so this is the one. And next one is explain best model. You can make it unselect if you want. Okay, so what is this? This is what this will automatically explain the best model created by AutoML. Okay, so you can unselect it if you want, if you don't, if you need it, you can select it, or else if you can unselect it. Okay, use all supported models. Okay, so you can unselect it if you want to restrict the job to try only a few specific algorithm. Okay, so for example, it will try to bring in all the supported model. What are the allowed models? You can see these are all the various allowed models. Okay, so in this, like for regression, you can do any of these model, like elastic net, gradient boosting, decision tree, knn, lazola. So all these things are available. If you want to test with all the supported models, you can select that, but it will take long time. Okay, so then I can just go and select what exactly I want. I can go with the random forest and light bgm. Even if you want to select even more knn or something, you can do that. Okay, you can try with any as possible. Okay, but how much you are adding, it will take too much of time. That is what. And enable ensemble stacking. So if you wanted to enable ensemble stacking, then you can do that. This is like, like this is like it will like it will predict the performance. Okay, it is like if you want to combine multiple thing and do that, you can do this ensemble stacking. As of now, I'm just disabling these as well. So I'm just saving this. Save. Okay, so this is the additional one. And then what you can do is, what you can see, this limits, you can expand this. Okay, max trial. So what is this max trial? How many trials, like how many number of maximum trials each combination of algorithm should undergo, because you are doing a AutoML job. Okay, so it should be a number. So I'm just going with the 3. Even if you want to go with the 2, you can go. It should not be more than 1000. It should not be less than 1. So you can set 2 or 3. Okay, max concurrent trial. Okay, so concurrent jobs, like if you want to execute the parallel job, you can go ahead with the max concurrent trial. I'm just going with a 3. Max node also, I'm just going with 3. Okay, maximum number of nodes in this job, like specifically you can just go ahead with that. Metric score threshold. Okay, so because we are using a normalized root mean square error, so the metric score should be of 0.085 or less. Okay, if that metric score is 0.085 or less, the job will end. So we are just trying to find the metric score threshold of this. Or if you want to go ahead with 90, go ahead with 90, so whatever. Okay, so this is the metric score threshold. And what is the timeout, like how many minutes you are just giving to experiment this particular thing, and if it exceeds more than 15 minutes, then your time will be completed, like it will not you have to again rework on it. Iteration timeout, so you can make it even this as a 15 minutes. And enable early termination, if you want to enable this early termination, you can also enable, even like for example, you have mentioned 15 minutes. Okay, but if the job has completed within 10 minutes or 5 minutes, then it will automatically stop and it will show you the result. So this is the one. And the next one is the validate and test. Okay, like how you wanted to validate and test. So for validation, we have 4 types, like k-fold cross validation, Monte Carlo cross, train validation, split, and user validation data. So automatic in the sense, automatically it will find how to validate the data. So it will be splitting your data into training and testing data, right? Like training and validation data. So sometimes, usually based on your data size, for example, if you have 1000 data, then we can plan like 80% should be for training and 20% should be for the testing. But since we have selected some specific machine learning algorithm, and and we have also selected some primary metric to be done, so you can just go ahead with the train validation split. So it will go ahead with that. And what is the percentage of the data you wanted to go with the validation? I'm just giving 10% data. So if you have large number of data, like for example 1 lakh data, then you can probably just go ahead with 20 or 30 of validation data. So what it means, like your 10% of data will be for validation and 90% of the data will be for testing. Okay, and then test data, there is no test data. If you want to provide your test data, you can just if you can tell like train test split, how much you wanted to split it. Okay, or if you have the your own data, you can select the data and you can upload it. Like we have uploaded the data right in the previous step. In that step itself, you can upload the train data as well, and then you can select it here. But as of now, I'm just going to go with a none because I don't have any test validation data. So I'm just going ahead with none and make sure it's 810. Okay, train validation and everything. These are all the basic steps which we have done. And the next thing is compute. Okay, like how it has to compute the thing, computer cluster or computer instance or serverless. I want to go with the serverless. And virtual machine type, I just want to go with the CPU. Okay, and virtual machine tier, it's a dedicated tier because I'm just going to use the standard thing. Okay, so you can just go ahead with the thing, and then if your subscription, you can just select what type of subscription you want. Okay, by default it is finding a subscription type for you. Okay, if you have anything you wanted to select specifically, okay, you can select that, or I'll just go ahead with whatever it is. And number of instances, I'm going with the 1. Okay, this is a virtual machine size, and then click next. So you can see your all the basic settings and everything has been done. So finally what you have to do is what you have to submit the training job. Okay, so it will start automatically. So the process is going on. We have to wait for some time to finish the model. Like this model will evaluate and it has to show. Okay, so we have to somehow wait for some time. So here you can see it's showing not started automated ML bicycle running. So it is running now. You can see the job details if you want to see here. Okay, you can see if you want to see the job details, you can click here. So it started. Let us just wait for that to run and execute, and once it is done, we can see like what happened. So then we have to review the model. Okay, the next step should be to review the model, how it worked. Okay, and we can deploy and test the model. This will be the final step. Okay, let us see. We have to wait for some time to um, uh, so yeah, so it's running. You can see that it started running. Our model started running here. Okay, you can see this is our data set, and it is showing some running. Let us wait for that. Now you can see that it is showing completed. Okay, which means that your job running automated machine learning job has been completed. You can see that we have these are all the inputs here. Okay, just if you look here, so this is the input which we have given, bicycle rental. And then you can see this is the best output, how it has shown the output, and what are the algorithm name which it has used and everything. Okay, and just if you scroll down, you can see 100% sampling. Okay, and sometimes you can see, just scroll down and see, you can see the complete information like regression, what is the running summary, featureization, normalized root mean square root mean square error, all these things it has calculated, and this is the running summary, and you can find the complete details here. Okay, so now you can see the text. You can just scroll down and see the complete details here. So we have selected two algorithms, right? So here you can see the best model summary. Under the best model summary, it is showing what is the algorithm name. Okay, and you can see that you can just click on this to see more about like what are the thing which it has used the model. Okay, that is, you can find the algorithm name, and you can see the ensembling details like what it did. Like we have used the model random forest. Okay, so data transformation, how it has fetched, and you can also see the light bgm. Okay, so the algorithm training and data transformation algorithm, if you go and click on this metrics, you can see so you can see the complete metrics here, like variance, mean, absolute error, everything. Okay, so here you can find the complete thing. You can also see the predicted value which is shown in the graph. Probably you can find the complete thing. You can see the test results. So all once if you click on that particular link, like the model summary link, you can see the complete thing, like how it has fetched all these things. Like since we have given the input, but how it fetched, like you can see 8 column as a categorical, 4 column numerical, and everything as a preview it is showing. Okay, so this is how your data is now calculated. Now if you just go to this model, so far in the previous we have did two steps. One is we have created the Azure learning workspace. We have used the automated machine learning to train a model, and we have reviewed the best model as well, which model is working best, like a sampling like 100%, which model has shown the best result. Okay, so we have also discussed that, and now we are supposed to deploy and test the model. Okay, so you can see in the this is the overview tab. So here we have seen everything, and once if you click on this model tab, okay, so you can see that you have an option called deploy. Okay, so you can see a real-time endpoint, what type of deployment you have to do, whether you have to go with the batch endpoint or the web services. Okay, you can go ahead with the web services as of now. So real-time endpoint, in the sense you need some it will take you through the some particular like services which you want to deploy, and as of now we are just going with the web services. Okay, just click on this web services, and here it will ask you for the name. You can just predict rental. Okay, I'm just giving the name here, predict rental, and you can just give the description as well, and you can just make it like Azure container instance. Okay, so because we are using it as a Azure, and then you can enable the authentication. If you want enable authentication, you can also enable the authentication here. Okay, you can select it, and Another one which you have to do is what you can either, there will be a lot of advanced settings which will be available. So like for example, this is completely about your computing. Okay, so like how you have to compute what is the primary key and foreign key. So this, we as of now we don't want all these things. So as of now we can just leave this, okay, and click on this deploy. Okay, you can just click on this deploy, and once if you click on the deploy, your deployment will start. Okay, so you have to just wait for the deployment. It may take few seconds to do that, and it will take some time, like probably sometimes 5 minutes. It completely depends on our like our network thing. And model deployment is successfully triggered. It is showing that it has successfully triggered. Your deployment status is showing like running. Okay, it's not completed, it's still running. Okay, and once it is deployed you can just test this. Okay, so what we can do is we can just go and select the endpoint. So here you can see, mm, so let it work. Until then I'm just showing you something. So here so far we have been doing some automated machine learning stuff from here. Now we have to check that. Okay, so here you can see there is an endpoint, okay, which is available under assets. Okay, so we have to go and check this endpoint, and then we have to do the testing, okay, to see like how it works once this deployment is completed. So we have to just check whether it is working fine. Okay, that's it. So let us wait for this running status to be like ready. Okay, so it is showing it's still running. It should show succeeded. Okay, so once it is succeeded, then we can proceed with the next level of or like checking it. So now you can see that it is showing succeeded. Okay, this result you should see. So your model is ready to test. So now where we have to go is what, if we have to go to this endpoints. Okay, so once if you go to the endpoints, because we have selected the endpoint, so once you click this endpoints you can see the predict rental endpoint here. Okay, so in that predict rental endpoint you can just select this. Okay, so once if you select this predict rental endpoint, you can see the all the attributes and everything, and go to the test. Got it. So because we are going to test it, so these are all the input data. Okay, you can see the day, month, year, season, holiday, weekday, working day, and finally you have the global parameter as well. So here we have to just change the value. Okay, so here this is default, by default it is like that. So I'm just going to give the day. Okay, and I'm just going to give the month as 1, and the year as probably 2024, and the season, I'm just giving the season here. So this all the input, like we have selected here, right, aka dot ms dot bike rental. So here these are all the inputs here. Okay, day, month, year, season, holiday, weekday. So what is the season, everything. So according to this we have to give that. And the holiday is what, whether it's a holiday or not, it's not a holiday. And the weekday I'm just giving as it's a weekday. And the working day, if it is a weekday, then as it will be the working day as well. So whether I'm just going to give the option like this here, and I'm just giving the temperature here as 0.3. You can give any temperature which is like this, like 0.3, 0.8, 0.2, so whatever. Okay, so we are just going to test it. Next to the temperature you have to give the value for all the thing. Okay, like we are just giving it. Okay, and global parameter I'm just giving 1. By default it will be 0. Okay, so the thing is what, we have given all these data except rental. Okay, whether this is what is the rent for this particular thing, that is what we are trying to predict it. So what I'm going to do is what I'm just going to do here, test. Okay, it is, once if you click the test button, it will review, it will tell me what is the rent. Okay, the rent is 35.8. This is what the rent. Okay, for this particular input. For example, if I give for the month of 6th, okay, so for the June, the day is, you can see what is the day. Okay, June 16. Uh, 2024, and the season is 1. You can change the parameter and see it will show you the rent, like what is the rent. Okay, it's 26.5 based on your input. It is based on the previous data, training testing data, training data, it is giving us the input. Okay, so it completely, it is showing depend on the data which we have entered. Okay, so we have to give the value for all these things, and finally it will give us what is the rental. So it is predicting. This is the regression technique. Okay, so the final step is what all these things we have done, right? Okay, so the final thing is we have to delete everything. So go to the endpoint, even the resource whatever you have created, if you're not going to use that, it is good to delete. Okay, just select this and click delete. Your endpoint will be deleted. Okay, like that, it will be good to delete all your resource whatever you have created. It will be good to delete it, because or else it will it is better not to consume the whatever we have created. Whenever you're trying to run it, it may consume the thing. Okay, so just go to the AutoML, try to delete whatever the AutoML we have created. Okay, or else you can simply delete it from here. Okay, so if you refresh, you can find the Azure demo here. Okay, you can delete the resource groups. That is also a good idea to do that, because we have created so far whatever you have created, that may take up, like that may consume some considerable works, like a considerable amount. So it's like a pay as we go, right? So this is what Azure ML RG, we have created this particular workspace. So if you wanted to delete this, you can simply click here, delete a resource group. Okay, so once if you click the delete resource group, it will ask you, it will be deleted. All these things whatever the created, whatever we have created, that will be deleted. Okay, Azure ML RG, you have exactly give this same name, or else you can just copy this and paste it here. Okay, and click delete, where all the dependent resource types and everything will be deleted. Okay, that is what they are telling. It will take some time. So here you can see it is deleting. Okay, deleting resource groups. So it will take some time to delete it, but it will delete. You don't want to, but you have to stay in the Azure portal. It is a good idea to stay in the Azure portal. You can see it is happening. Okay, it is happening here. It is doing something here. Okay, once it is deleted, you cannot see that particular resource group or any other resources which are under any other type which are under this. You cannot see that. So yes, we have completed this demo on creating an automated machine learning. You can try classification algorithm. So probably once I have completed all the Azure AI services, like I'm planning for showing all the Azure AI services. Once everything is done, I'll be showing you the different thing, like how to fetch your data from your local space and everything. Okay, so if you have any queries, just please leave the comment.